everyone. Good afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a live listen. That is where up in Charleston, West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey is holding a press conference. It got started a couple of minutes ago, so I want to go ahead and get us straight to it. And let's go ahead and take a live listen into what he is talking about. We're expecting some type of announcement when we're thinking about this, as far as he says a high-impact intelligence center. So let's listen in to find out.
Will be the nation that powers the enormous data demands of tomorrow. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing, advanced manufacturing, and supercomputing. On Tuesday night, President Trump declared we're entering a new golden age and that America must remain the #1 AI power in the world to keep our people free and safe. Well, West Virginia is answering that call, and we're optimistic for our future. So today, I'm pleased that so many wonderful members of the legislature are here. I want to thank all of you for the partnership, because without the hard work we did during the last session, which is rapidly becoming an incredibly productive session due to just a couple little laws that you guys passed, I'm glad you're here today, because the credit goes to you, it goes to the team, it goes to the counties, and of course it goes to the wonderful companies that we're working with. I also want to thank my team for all the hard work they did. These guys are working around the clock. But today, we announced our very first high-impact intelligence center. It is approved. Penzance Management is making a historic $4 billion investment, private sector investment, in the state of West Virginia. That's worth it. Good stuff. This is their Bedenton campus in Berkeley County. It's officially earned the designation of what we put into that law, that high impact. I'm going to call them intelligence centers. Intelligence centers, because that's what this is all about, to share intelligence. And we should be supportive of that. This campus, it's going to sit on 548 acres in Falling Waters in Berkeley County. At full build out, it's going to total approximately 1.9 million square feet, and it's going to deliver at least 600 megawatts of critical IT capacity. Maybe a little more? We're working on a little more too, right? And this is incredible. It's expected to create over 1,000 construction jobs when they start, and at least 125 full-time permanent jobs. Now, I don't know that anyone wants me to cite what the pay level of those permanent jobs are, but when you have permanent jobs in this area, they pay a lot. And in some cases, they're paying over $100,000 or more. I'm not here to talk about all of that today, but these are incredible things. And they're good for our people. They're good for Berkeley County and the Eastern Panhandle. They're good for West Virginia. And I'm happy to mention one reason why. When we did that intelligence law, the microgrids, we developed a formula for how that was going to operate. And what it did is it actually ensured that significant amounts go back to help the schools. Significant amounts go to lower our state's income tax. By our rough calculation, it's about $47 million every time you have a gigawatt of energy. So you could see what 600 megawatts would look like. But it also has 40% that goes back to the counties. And significant amounts will be going back to all counties in West Virginia and to Berkeley County. So this is incredible. This is going to be a difference maker for Berkeley County. It's going to be a difference maker for the state as a whole. I want to also mention that no state funding went into this project. Just a lot of sweat equity, a lot of work. We're working on those fundamentals. They work. If you focus on the fundamentals, the site selection and remediation, the water, the sewer, the ability to access strong energy purchase agreements, broadband, and investing in our people, wow, there's nothing that could stop us. And that's been our focus. And we're excited about what's happening. The Power Generation and Consumption Act helped make this investment possible. and it helped make West Virginia the most attractive place in the country to build an intelligence center. I want to thank the energy partners who helped put this together. We've been working closely with those folks, and not only on this project, but on other projects around the state. This is just the beginning. I also want to reassure the people of West Virginia that infrastructure costs associated with these intelligence centers, they're paid for by the projects, not West Virginians. We're excited about that. I think all of us in this room, we want to make sure we use our vast coal and natural gas resources to meet the increased demand that we're going to face. Now, the word is getting out. If you're looking for a state to partner with, one that's going to help facilitate timely, durable business decisions, we're going to move at the speed to get power faster than anyone, and we're working to ensure that the investment decisions are successful. If you want a partner like that, you get to come to West Virginia. I think today's announcement proves that the work we're doing, a combination of the work of the legislature and our executive, it's just hard to imagine how much progress we've seen in such a short period of time. I do want to note that this project qualified to be a high-impact intelligence center because it exceeds at least 90 megawatts of projected load. They've submitted detailed engineering and environmental plans, and they're working on water and mitigation strategies, and there's a long-term commitment to responsible development. When I see these intelligence centers, I know that we all share the goal that we're going to have plans to limit the noise. We're going to do it the right way from a water perspective. We're going to make sure that we're sensitive about the setbacks and the trees, right? We all want to do that. We have an opportunity here in West Virginia to be a big part of that golden age. Now, what I want to do, if our comms team can put up these posters, I want to walk people through just what's happened. We'll start with since October 1st alone. Is it up? Oh, there it is. It's up. All right, between October 25 and yesterday, my administration has helped secure more than $6.5 billion in new private investment, and that's estimated to create approximately 8,000 jobs. And we try to vet these to be very careful. We'll move on to the next one. We also have been working closely with the Trump administration. We know the importance of building infrastructure, right? I think all of us do. And we spent a lot of time developing a really good application for the Rural Health Transformation Fund, something I hope moves through the House very, very quickly, because that, if we do it right, could be worth $1 billion. That's incredible. And the rural health opportunity means that we're going to be improving healthcare outcomes, getting more people into the workforce, driving more productivity, strengthening our economy, and lifting up our standard of living. It's exciting. We also know that in a modern era, we need broadband. And so I was very pleased to work, once again, the legislature for all their good work, our federal delegation, and everyone. We were able to secure that $546 million to serve 73,000 unserved locations in West Virginia. That matters because if you don't have the basic infrastructure, you're not going to be successful. If you don't have the fundamentals in place, you're not going to be successful. Let's go to the next slide. Today, we had something really new and dynamic to this list. We have a minimum investment of $4 billion. Let me ask anyone in this room, have you heard of something larger than $4 billion in the whole time you've been here? Anyone? No. This is incredible. And let me say, based upon our research, it looks like we're on pace to have the largest economic development year in the state's history. We're on pace for that. Thank you. And certainly, since October 1st, this 5-year period, it's been very, very robust. Can we move to the next slide? We put this slide together for a reason. We obviously want to work closely. We have the public sector investment I mentioned the Rural Health Fund and the broadband, but look at that private sector investment. $10.5 billion and over 9,000 projected jobs. Those are good numbers. But I want to tell you, we're not done yet. We have more and more opportunities. I'm aware of more. I know at the State of the State, I was eager to mention some of these, but we knew that we needed a little more time. I like to wait until the ink is dry before I make an announcement, right? And so sometimes people want the news sooner, but we're doing it when we have certainty that these things are going to happen. So we're really excited about that. Is there one more that we have here? Think about that. Did you ever think we'd get to that point through all the work that we've done? Total investment, public and private, $12 billion. Total projected jobs, 10,000. And let me be clear, there are other great things happening in West Virginia. You know, we're not including, I had a memorandum of understanding with Secretary Burgum last week, right? I went there so that West Virginia had primacy in the regulation of mining on federal lands. That's not included within, but that's going to result in hundreds of jobs, good jobs. There are other announcements that we weren't involved in. They come in, that's great. That's not in there. These are the ones that we've been involved in, we're working with folks on. That means that there's incredible opportunity for West Virginia's future. But none of it would be possible without making West Virginia more attractive from an investment perspective and making the policy changes that underlie sound investment decisions. And we've been able to do that, and I hope we can continue to do that in the future. Over $12 billion. I call that a good start. We have a lot more work to do, but this represents the beginning of what we did last year. The work that we all put in and we all fought over, and we came to a good result. We came together. There are too many legislators here today to mention everyone, but I am so happy. You deserve so much credit for everything that we were able to do. And we worked, and sometimes there's a push and pull. But I promise you there's a vision behind this, and if we all work together, we're going to make sure West Virginia truly has its comeback story. So I think we are onto something here, and we have a lot more coming in the next 30 to 60 days, big projects for West Virginia. So let's keep working together, and let's make sure we create the best possible pro-business environment. Now, I want to say a special thank you to our partners at Penzance, who made these investments possible. There we are. Thank you, Victor, for your confidence in West Virginia. It really means a lot. And thank you. These guys have a lot of great experience in this area, and I'm hopeful this might just be the first of many announcements, and we're really thrilled to partner with Penzance. I see that we have folks from Berkeley County. I know we have our finance chairman here. We have Eddie Gokenauer from the commission. We have a lot of wonderful people here. This is a big day for West Virginia. Now what I'd like to do is turn it over to Victor Tolkien for some remarks. So Victor, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you, Governor, and thank you to everybody in West Virginia for creating an environment where what we're trying to do is possible. We're very excited about this opportunity. You guys collectively have created an environment that allows us to do what we want to do. We've been in this business for some time, and as I'm sure you guys know, demand far outstrips supply today. But supply is getting harder and harder to provide for all sorts of reasons. Legislative issues, power generation problems, power transmission problems. And we've spent, actually my wife and I founded this company 29 and a half years ago, which I think means I'm old, but we've always founded it and done everything we can going forward based on partnership and community. And as we watch data center, intelligence center evolve across...
Intelligence Center for everyone.
Sorry.
That's the new name.
I speak two languages, data center and intelligence center. It's becoming more and more acrimonious. It's actually pushing people apart. And what we see here in West Virginia is everybody working together as one, from power to legislature to the county to everybody, and that's remarkable. We don't see that a lot. So we're thrilled to be here. The governor and his team, as I said, have created, along with you guys, an extraordinarily pro-business environment specifically related to intelligence centers. I would be remiss to not call out my team. However, almost everybody you see up here has been working incredibly hard on a project that is all very important to us. Lauren Koal has been driving this process. She's been extraordinary. Everybody else up here, I'm not going to name you all. You can complain later. But I just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to the governor. This bill that you started with has been a huge benefit, and I look forward to this project, and I look forward to hopefully more as we work together as a community to try and accomplish the great things that intelligence centers bring to municipalities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great. And now I'm also pleased to bring up to the mic my friend from Berkeley County, the president of the Berkeley County Commission, Eddie Gokenauer. Eddie.
Governor Morrisey, on behalf of the Berkeley County Commission, thank you for your invitation to us today to be part of this great celebration. We're very, very excited about this opportunity for the people of Berkeley County and the people of the state of West Virginia. This is really a fantastic opportunity that we've never had before. So there are some unanswered questions, but I feel very confident after meeting with your team over the last day, Monday actually, that they're going to be a great partner with us, and I look forward to working with every one of them. I will also say, Governor, that your gentleman, Chris Morris, is top-notch.
Amen.
Yeah, I really appreciate him a lot.
Where is he?
I don't know where
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, if we can find him, like, where's Elmo? But, you know, when you come to Berkeley County, you're going to get a team and you're going to get a partner. Yeah. And our economic development director, Jennifer Smith, is here today. She brought folks together as well and everybody that needed to be at the table was at the table, and we've had great conversation, a very open conversation, yeah. And those are just so positive. So those are the things that we do. We make things happen, and I love partnerships, and I think we're going to have a great one right here. So thank you, and thank you for everything.
Excellent. Thank you. Absolutely. Well, I'm so grateful that folks came all the way down from Berkeley County. It certainly means a lot. And for Penzance that came in. And also for all the legislators who are here today. I can't name everyone. I see our Senate President in the background, Randy Smith. Is the Speaker here too? Where's the Speaker? Speaker's back there as well. We got the Deputy Speakers. We got everyone here. This is a great event. But it's just the beginning. And we have a lot more work to do. This was an example. I actually have said this. When we worked together, we did a lot of work in the House and the Senate. When we work together, we accomplish something pretty incredible. We do better than when we come together instead of when we're fighting. And I would say the same for the rest of the matters for this legislative session. Look at what this did. And it's just the beginning. This will end up being one of the most impactful economic development laws of our lifetime. And we're just beginning. $4 billion today, a lot more coming into the future. So I want to thank everyone for coming, all the wonderful people, and then I'm happy to take any questions from media that may be here. Katie Coyne. By the way, thank you for coming back. You haven't been here as much lately. Nice to see you. It's 30 to the originating county, then it's 10% spread out to the rest. Yeah.
And then, is this going to be, do we know, a major or minor polluter at this point?
Look, I know that we're going through right now, we still have to go through a lot of the processes but we're feeling very good about the steps that we have from an environmental perspective. And I think one of the advantages of having this intelligence center designation is that we can bring people in, and then we're going to have the ability to continue to work with them on all the permitting to do it the right way. So we're probably not going to get into every detail in terms of this intelligence center today, but I can tell you that the process here, I think, is designed to avoid some of what you saw with other places around the state, where sometimes we didn't even know that something was coming. And we like to do this in an organized manner, that when you hit the triggers for the intelligence center, then you come in and we work through soup to nuts all of the permitting. So we appreciate it.
How is it going to be powered again just broadly? Is there going to be an natural gas plant? Is it going to connect to the grid? How is this going to run?
I believe this one is going to be connected to the grid, but there are other opportunities we won't talk about, but I think this is likely to be a grid-connected project. Brad.
Governor, or whoever is appropriate, I'm trying to back up a little bit and figure out how this works. Is Penzance a property developer, and then are there agreements for who would use the capacity, or does someone else actually develop the capacity?
All right, so you are watching a press conference from West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey about a data center, or what he is calling a high-impact intelligence center that will be opening up in Berkeley County. As far as specific details, right now, Morrisey, along with the private company, is taking questions from members of the press across the state of West Virginia. Very limited details, though, on the specifics of the project. He did announce, that there would be a high-impact intelligence center opening in Berkeley County, but as far as when we could see that, where we could see that, those are details that the company has not shared yet. He did mention, though, Morrisey did mention that no state funding went into this project. So we are still expecting to learn some of the big details, and we have a lot of questions. But this is the announcement West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey making today on Thursday. You can tell a very crowded press conference, lots of members of the press from across the state. So let's go ahead and still take a listen into the other questions that are now being answered.
Other questions from media? Got Young in the back. Yeah.
Sir, could you expand just a little bit on what Penzance's footprint is outside of West Virginia?
If it's okay, I'd rather not at this time, but if you want to submit some questions to our press team, they'll give you answers.
Yeah, all I can tell you, this is a terrific company, and they've worked with some of the biggest companies out there. And, as you may know, sometimes there are sensitivities given that some of the larger, whether it's hyperscalers or others that are having conversations, people like to break things when they occur at the right time. So we appreciate that. Other questions that you may have for me? Is that Charlie there? All right. Yeah.
You talked a little bit about the 10% going to other counties. Obviously, this affects Berkeley County. What does this mean for the rest of the counties in the state?
Well, the way the formula operates, obviously, it's going to benefit the whole state, because once these are fully operational, then you obviously are getting the benefit in terms of the educational systems within the counties. You're getting the benefit of the 50% reduction that goes to
All right, so
tax reduction fund, and then the way the 40% is.
there we go. Had the wrong button pushed. So West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey taking some further questions from the members of the press. Let's go ahead and kind of recap what the announcement was, though. We do know that this is likely the first high-impact intelligence center. That is what Morrisey is calling it. The term data center was thrown around as well during that presser. However, Morrisey specifying that he is referring to it as a high-impact intelligence center. So that'll be opening in Berkeley County. The company is called Penzance, and it is a $4 billion private sector investment. So no state funding went into this project. When we were talking about specific areas, we don't have a specific site, but I can give you a general location. Morrisey said about 540 acres in the Falling Waters area. And we're looking at a 1.9 million square foot facility. So quite big in the amount of area that it would cover. So likely you're going to need to be an area where it's very maybe rural, even remote, so that you have enough of a space to build this facility. Now, we can also tell you that Morrisey says this will create more than 1,000 construction jobs and at least 125 full-time permanent jobs. So we are likely going to see some of those temporary jobs being more of the construction as they work to build the facility on the 540-acre site. And then once that facility is built, you're looking at just about 125 permanent full-time jobs. So there is a little bit of a difference when we're comparing the numbers from temporary to full-time and even permanent. The other thing is the company sharing today that they have a long-term commitment to responsible development. For example, limiting noise, minimizing the impact on waterways. The company didn't necessarily go into so many specifics, but they encouraged members of the press today to reach out to their team back at their office, and they would be happy to answer those questions. So that is some of the details that we are seeing and we heard from West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey as he made that announcement today. The press conference still going on, so we are going to go ahead and listen back to some of the questions that are now being asked.
Well, one thing I can say is I'm very happy that the Berkeley County Commission, that these guys are here, and that makes a big difference. Look, a lot of people, when our intelligence center law was created, start to wonder how it would work. And just because the state may have the power to do something, you can demonstrate that you care a lot about the communities by how you work with them. That means meeting with the people in the communities, spending time with the local commission, addressing the needs that may come up, being very sensitive to questions related to water, to setbacks, to trees. I can't tell you how many intelligence center companies that I've talked to where I talk about the importance of water and setbacks and noise. And I think a lot of it is them meeting with the communities and getting to know them so that they're not scared of this. But sometimes that's why I like this intelligence center law, because then it gets to come in here first, and then we get to work and explain what it means very positively instead of have people just run around maybe that may not have all the information at their disposal. So I know that Commissioner President Gokenauer, you wanted to say a few other words, right?
I did. Just real quick, Governor. I'd be remiss if I did not thank you, number one, for your leadership with this bill that went through the legislature, but also our delegates and senators, in particular, Haidt, Mr. Hornby, and Chuck Hurst. Those three delegates worked very hard. Our Senator Barrett and Senator Jeffries, thank you very much for your work, and that you are the ones that helped us get us across the line, and I appreciate it. I just want to thank you.
And I applaud that. Everyone has done great work. So, Tom Willis, Berkeley County, has also done some outstanding work. I want people to know that he really helped a lot on the Senate side when there were some problems. So I think there was a great team of people. I don't know where Senator Helton is, but we had a group, Jeffries. There are a lot of great people in the House and Senate. I know you had Fehrenbacher, you had Clay Riley. You had a lot of people do really good things. I appreciate it. I'm the kind of person I like to say, if we work together on this, we may not agree 100% of the time, but when we agree, let's work together and make big things happen. We're going to disagree on some things, but let's do it the right way. All right. I'll take one more question from the media. Brad, you got it.
Or whoever, where does the estimate of 125 ongoing jobs come from? Is that a general average? It looks like there's still more to come on the development details, so I'm wondering how that equates specifically to us.
I think just based upon the estimates that are had at this time, obviously there are certain things that you generally know about when you talk about the energy capacity and the footprint and what traditionally happens. Brad, I would note, too, that that doesn't always factor in some of the ancillary jobs that may arise within the community. But based upon what I've learned, that there are estimates that are made. We think that they're good faith estimates, and we get to that amount. But, whether it ends up being 124 or 132, there always could be some variance. But just the size of the facility and what it's intended to surface, that's what helps put those numbers together. So with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who came here today. This is big.
All right, so that was West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey wrapping up his press conference. And the last question that was asked today from Brad McElhenney, a member of the press, he was saying, can you give us a little bit more specifics on the types of jobs? How do we know that it'll be 125 permanent jobs? He asked for some more details, and Morrisey then explaining that number was based on their estimate from the company in good faith, based on the size of the facility and some of the other jobs that they would likely necessarily need. Now, they are expecting approximately 125, but Morrisey says we don't know whether it will be 124 or 132. So that's kind of his answer as he explained that today. And so as he is signing, and it appears they're probably likely going to sign a document, intentions. That was the last question that he asked from the members of the press. So as he made this announcement, that $4 billion investment in private sector funding going towards a high-impact intelligence center. You can tell there members, lawmakers, members of the company there, as well as Governor Morrisey, as they prepare for a picture kind of commemorating the moment as those documents were signed. And so to our knowledge, this is the first high-impact intelligence center. That is the term that Morrisey kept using throughout the press conference. He once or twice did use the word data center interchangeably, but he corrected himself several times. So that is what they're calling this center. Again, that is going to be built on about 540 acres of land out in the Falling Waters area of Berkeley County. Now, a specific location, though, was not given, but based on the size of the facility, that's estimated to be about 1.9 million square feet, you have to think about, okay, where could that happen? Because that facility is going to be huge, and it's going to take a lot of area, concentrated area. Rural, remote is likely where we'll see that be built in the Falling Waters area. As far as how soon that can happen, that is a question that we are still working to learn from West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey's team. We have our reporter, Charlie Roth, was at the press conference today. And so we're going to have a little bit of a recap, too, as we learn to get more details. The company not providing too many specifics in the sense, but they said they were happy to answer questions if the members of the press would send it on to their team. So that is the announcement that we heard from today. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey making that announcement about a data center being built in Berkeley County. And we are going to, like I said, get some follow-ups to those questions: when, where, the exact location if we're able to be given it, and how soon we could see that. So thanks for joining us here for WSAZ Plus as we look at some of the stories that we are following today. This one again out of Berkeley County, and we'll expect to have an update later this evening. Have a great Thursday, everybody.